Hi there. If you're watching this video, it's likely because you have received my alphabet practice kit that comes with the letter sound identification assessment. If your child is a complete and total beginner, you might want to skip the assessment for now and come back to it at another time. If your child knows at least a handful of letters and sounds, you can jump into the assessment so you can see exactly where they're at and what letters and sounds you want to target during practice. This is the page that your child will be looking at, and this is the double-sided page that you will be writing on. Notice the 3 color-coded sections so that you can complete this 3 different times over about 6 to 9 months and see their progress. I'm going to be doing the assessment with my 4-year-old daughter, Ruby. She is in pre-K. This is Ruby, and let's get started. I'm writing her name at the top of the page and explaining to her what we will do. So this is the first assessment I'm doing with Ruby. So I'm going to start with the blue section here, and I'm going to put the date at the top. Today is April 29th. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to point to the letters one at a time, and I'm going to ask her to tell me the name of the letter and the sound, the most common sound that that letter makes. What's the name of that letter? What letter is that?
R.
What sound does R make?
R, r,
R,
r,
r,
r.
r. You got it. What's that letter?
O.
That's correct. What sound does O make? What letter is this?
P.
Yeah, that's a P. What sound does P make? Do you know this one?
What?
Okay, so I just finished the letter name and sound identification assessment with 4-year-old Ruby. She's in pre-K and she's still learning the letters and the sounds. So what I did was I marked off, I crossed out the ones that she didn't know, and I checked off the ones that she did get correctly, and then I went ahead and counted. So I looked at all of the letter names where she identified the name of the letter, and I counted, and she knew 9 of them. And then I counted how many of the sounds she knew. Some of them were the same, like she knew the letter R and she knew the sound for R. Some of them, she knew the letter name, but she didn't know the sound. So for the letter O, she knew that it was called O, but she said for the sound instead of ah. So when I went ahead and counted the ones she got correct, she had 5 letter sounds correct. That gives me a lot of information on where to start working with her. So if she knew most of the letter names and the letter sounds, I could just work on the few that she didn't know. But since she only knows a handful of them, I can really work on any of the letters and sounds that she knows. I can start with some of the ones that she does know so that she feels confident, and then continue with teaching her the ones that she does not know. It's time to assess 2nd grade Kingston. I want you to point across. I want you to tell me the name of the letter and the sound, okay? What letter is that? What's the sound? Keep going to the next one.
G. J.
This video is sped way up, but Kingston went through the letters and sounds very quickly. So for this letter is what?
G.
And you said J, which is one of the sounds that G can make, but what's the more common sound for G?
G.
Good. Okay, so I just finished the assessment with Kingston, and you'll notice that when he got to the letter G, he said that the sound for G was J, which is actually one of the sounds that G can spell. I actually gave him a chance. I pointed it out again. I told him, you told me J for this letter G, which is one of the sounds that G can make. What is the more common sound for G? And he corrected it to G, so I marked that as correct. So you'll notice that in the end of it all, Kingston got all of the letters and sounds correct. Where he's at in his literacy development, it actually wouldn't be developmentally appropriate to use the alphabet kit with him because he doesn't need to learn letters and sounds, and so I would be practicing with him more advanced phonics concepts. Thank you to my kids for helping me make this video. When the assessment was over, Ruby wanted to continue writing letters, so she got out some paper and markers. Thank you to everyone watching. If you have made it this far, I hope that gives you a good overview of the letter sound identification assessment, and let me know if you've got any questions.